Sox post-game show, I will recap the past two losses for your Chicago White Sox and this 2.5 hour delay. Woohoo. See it. It's CHGO White Sox post-game show presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We are coming to you live after a White Sox loss, 3-2. The game started at 1:10. The game ended around, about 6:20. Baseball is back, folks. Did you miss it? I didn't today. On today's show, we are going to be running down on this game recap. A pretty interesting game, even though it was a loss for the Chicago White Sox. I'll give you a delay recap as well. I'll give you some notes on the full series, the 3 games with the Los Angeles Angels. I also have some minor league updates. Some people said during this offseason, hey, one of the main things that I would love this season is minor league coverage. I'll do my best to do that. Obviously, you could also check out Future Sox with respect to our friends over at Ian, with Ian and James Fox. They do a wonderful job along with James, Danny. They have a ton of people. Our guy, Elijah Evans. There we go. I met him, and now I can't think of his name. But Elijah Evans, Nazis. They do a great job. But we'll talk about the minor league update. Knights went 3-0, and then we'll also talk about the New York Yankees torpedo bats. Kevin Wells is the producer. Is that the torpedo?
I don't know. Maybe that's what a torpedo sounds like. Good to be back with you, Sean.
I like the torpedo noises. I welcome the torpedo noises. So whenever you feel brave enough to do that, bring them over. Sox lose 3-2 against the Los Angeles Angels. They lose the day prior 1-0, only getting 6 base runners, and the game-winning run was driven in kind of by Yoan Moncada. What happens, at least on that game, Mike Clevenger walks Jorge Soler, then a ball gets past Tice. Soler goes from first to third, and then Yoan Moncada hits a ball right at Mike Clevenger, hits Clevenger pretty much like in the forearm in a way, and then bounces away from Clevenger, but away from the second baseman who was going more up the middle, and then Moncada is able to reach on first, and that's how the only run of yesterday's game scores. Today, a little bit more exciting. Davis Martin was your starting pitcher for the Chicago White Sox. Jack Kohanowitz, and I tried very many times to write down the pronunciation of his name. Kohanowitz. Jack Kohanowitz was the pitcher for the Angels. Davis Martin had a pretty sloppy-ish first inning. Who had a more sloppy inning was the infield behind him. There was 2 beautiful called strike sliders to open up the game for Davis Martin, and then they went with a fat right-on-right changeup, which made no sense to me. That ball was hit right at Jake Amaya, and it went right through Jake Amaya's wickets. Why are you here, Jake Amaya? Because your noodle bat isn't working. Lenyn Sosa ends up pitch hitting for him after the delay. But Amaya, that's why I thought you were here. I thought that's why the White Sox, after DFAing you, and after the Orioles DFA'd you, the White Sox picked you back up, was because of your glove. I thought that's why you made the opening day roster. The ball's hit right at you. Pick it up. Help out Davis Martin. I don't get the pitch choice, but still, the ball's put in play right at Jake Amaya. He gets credited with an error, so then what happens after is not Davis Martin's fault. Nolan Schanuel fouled off 7 pitches. Then he hits Brooks Baldwin, diving to his left, hits him right in the heel of the glove. 2 on, no out. 12 straight strikes to start the game for Martin, but after Mike Trout hits an opposite single with the bases are loaded, Soler hits an RBI sac fly, makes it 1-0. Then Moncada with an RBI fielder's choice. He's doing it in like just the worst ways possible. He's not even doing it in like some damaging way. Hit a home run and put me out of my misery, Moncada. Moncada, an RBI fielder's choice, makes it 2-0 Los Angeles. 25 pitches in the first inning for Davis Martin. And I'm just kind of like, oh well. With our friends over at Bet365, I put money on the first 5 innings on the White Sox. I put money on the White Sox money line. I thought they were going to win. I thought they were going to win Will Venable, his first series as a manager. And then my kind of hope was taken out with that first inning. I was like, oh, well, here are the White Sox. But they gave us hope. Bottom of the first, Jack Kohanowitz got dinged up. 5 100-mile-per-hour balls put in play by the White Sox. Nick Maton, leadoff. DH. Why? Because he hits leadoff bombs. DH god Nick Maton, leadoff homer, first leadoff homer of his career, makes it 2-1 White Sox off Jack Kohanowitz. Then Robert hits a single up the middle. And then the biggest thing, after Benintendi hits a deep ball to center, Robert tags from first to second, and then Vaughn laces a ball to the right center gap. Robert tags from second to third, puts himself in scoring position. Matt Tice slaps a single to the right side. Robert scores from first. A beautiful job from Luis Robert Jr. When you're talking about him not hustling, 2025 is a new year. Later in the game, he would end up stealing second base as well. He's been aggressive on the base paths. Hasn't done damage, at least power-wise, with homers, but he was able to hit a single today, able to hit a single later on in the game as well. Just wait. I do feel like something's brewing with Luis Robert Jr. He did a great job in the first inning to tie up this game. I did start to look up home games where the White Sox were able to allow 2 earned runs in the first inning and then be able to tie the game in the bottom of the first last year. Did they do that? And I was like, oh, there's no way they did that. I got to the second game of the year last year. They gave up 3 runs in the first and then got 2 in the second. So, yeah, I was like, oh, they probably never did that. And then I just gave up my search because I was like, oh, they did it in the second game of the year.
Well, when I was listening to the game on the way in, that felt like something they had lacked a lot of last year. You know, it felt like that didn't happen a lot. It felt like they didn't have the strength to come back. Once they were down, you're like, oh, it's over. Well, and seeing a little bit of fight early on was impressive, and good base running was impressive. It felt like they've lacked that a lot the last couple seasons.
And you want to know what the secret sauce was, at least why they were able to do that early on in the year last year?
Batting your best player second?
Well, yeah. But, I mean, Luis Robert Jr. Hit a home run in that Detroit Tigers game, and then he ends up getting hurt against the Royals, and then he doesn't come back until June. So, I mean, that was the main part why they ended up being like 12 to start off the year, was because Robert ends up getting hurt, Moncada ends up getting hurt, Jimenez is hurt. It was just terrible. But let's get into the second inning. Pretty easy work for Davis Martin. Pretty easy work for Jack Kohanowitz. Same for the third inning as well. 41 pitches through the third for Davis Martin. Kohanowitz and Martin really go back and forth with 1, 2, 3 innings. In the fourth inning, I did start to get annoyed by Davis Martin's kick change. Everyone's favorite broadcaster, John Striffen, really, he learned a new word. He learned kick change. And I feel like I'm also guilty of it as well. So, hey, I'm not trying to, but at some point around the fourth inning, I wrote down, annoyed by Martin's new kick change. It was in August when he got it. Like, it's not that new. He had a whole September of throwing this kick change, a whole spring of throwing this kick change. When you say new kick change, I think the guys just started throwing it. Luka Doncic was a maverick when this guy started throwing it. I don't think it's that recent, Kevin. Am I too off?
I don't think it's that big of a deal to call it new. I don't know. I'll be a little. I'm critical. I'll be critical, but in this instance, you get a month buffer to me. April's still new. Fine. Once you keep calling in June, July, you keep calling it new. No, all right, enough. Also, kick change. Explain to me.
It's about change. I don't have a baseball. We've explained it before. It's a two-seam fastball, but instead of using your 2 fingers, your pointer and middle, you're using your middle and ring. And what Davis Martin told Chuck Garfien on the CHSN White Sox podcast was you're trying to get the access from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So you're trying to have your middle finger be the last finger on the ball, and that flicks the the access of the ball, giving it kind of a splitter rotation rather than going backwards like a two-seam fastball would. It goes like kind of, it tumbles. It starts to tumble.
I was wondering, it's just like what the origin of kick.
You're kicking your finger out.
Okay.
So it's the grip that denotes the name of the pitch. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't. Anyways, I got annoyed by just the kick change. It gets shoved down my throat later in the game, and I'll bring that up later.
It's new to fans because Christopher Devine says we stopped watching in August.
That's fair. Hey. And then credit to Chris and credit to John Shriffen then. You do have to just re-educate people.
That's good.
But yeah, there was an inning-ending double play in the top of the fourth. The one thing I did want to note with that, my guy Herb Lawrence would always note this whenever pitchers would stick out their bare hand with a ball going up the middle. Stop it. You need your fingers to throw the damn ball, Davis Martin. You're going to break your phalanges. Keep your hand behind your back because your shortstop's there. They pick up the ball. They get the double play. You're out of the inning, and your hand's not broken. Anyways, he ends up being fine, and the kick change is fine. It's a 1-2-3 inning from Kohanowitz in the bottom of the fourth. Top of the fifth, another 1-2-3 inning from Davis Martin. Bottom of the fifth, you get Amaya lining out on a hit and run. He finally laces a ball. The runner, I think it was Baldwin, takes off to second base, but it's right at the second baseman. Baldwin gets doubled up. Amaya really with some bad luck there, especially after his error. He finally laces one up, and that's the second time in that game. Benintendi was up, and Robert was on first base after his first single that Will Venable called a hit and run. So we have seen some hit and runs from Will Venable. I did question him as well, leading off Nick Maton. But hey, Nick Maton lead off home run. That got shoved down my throat. Top of the sixth, though. Davis Martin's last inning. Ward leads off with a single. Then Shanuel hits a ball at Baldwin. It's bobbled. Could have been a double play. It only is a fielder's choice. Then Trout falls off a ball into the first base camera well, and it's another situation where 5'6" Andrew Vaughn does not give the effort that you would think a first baseman would give in a play that, you know, it's a ball in the camera well. I don't know how much you can actually reach, but a guy that's 6'4", you know, a normal 6'2" first baseman maybe makes a little bit more of an effort. Vaughn gets to the railing and doesn't really give any effort. That stuck out to me because we've seen that time and time again with Andrew Vaughn. His defense, his bat leaves a lot to be desired. We'll get to Vaughn in the bottom of the ninth because he finally broke through with his first hit of 2025, but just notable enough, he couldn't stretch enough, really didn't give enough, I thought, on that foul-off trying to get your pitcher out of the inning. Then Soler hits a ground rule double. Shanuel is able to stay at third, so the White Sox aren't damaged there, and a beautiful kick change. There you go. Kick change. No, I know there's 2 minutes to the break. I'm pointing at you because you said kick change.
Don't worry. I'm just making sure you know because I'm trying to know because I'm back. It's been a while. It's been about 4 months for me.
I got you. I've been producing shows. But Moncada strikes out swinging on a gorgeous kick change from Davis Martin. Kick change. You want to say it one more time with me? Kick change.
1, 2, 3. Kick change.
Moncada strikes out on the kick change. That ends Davis Martin's day. 6 innings for Davis Martin, and he ended up with no earned runs. He ended up allowing 2 runs because of the Amaya error, but they don't get credited to him. But Martin, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 runs allowed, 2 walks, 2 Ks. He had 3 whiffs, 16 called strikes, 21% called strike plus whiff percentage for Martin. Lot to be left desired. Not many whiffs. You want more swings and miss. Cannon was able to get 8. Burke was able to get 8, so 5 less than his counterparts, but still 16 called strikes and was able to be effective enough over 6 innings. I will put my notes back where they were so I don't get confused, although I am starting to get confused. We'll take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. We want to let you know about our friends over. Did you publish that, Kevin?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're not.
Oh, yeah.
You don't do it in preview.
No,
mode.
no.
Look at you.
No.
Okay.
Only for comments.
I gotta let you. What's it called? I gotta let you produce. We want to let you know about our friends over at Sunnyside. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. A place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your summer. It's a one-stop shop for all your cannabis needs. Sunnyside has an expertly curated menu with over 100 strains to choose from. Plus, they have easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Sunnyside is Illinois' favorite dispensary with locations in the city like Wrigleyville and River North, and they have locations in the suburbs like Champaign, South Beloit. My favorite, you escape the city just briefly, go out to Elmwood Park and enjoy the beautiful neighborhood. This is not a paid advertisement, but I had a lovely brunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch at the Garden of Good Eatin'. So go get yourself a pork chop over at the Garden of Good Eatin'. If you're starting out, Sunnyside has expert guidance of brands we know you'll love, like Good News and Mindy's, and we know you'll love our discount code. Visit sunnyside.shop for Bright Buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, Bright Buys every day, only for 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders. Again, use promo code HICHGO for 50% off your first 3 orders. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Bet365. Bet365 is live in Illinois. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up. Use the code CHGO365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, whether you win or lose. And with Major League Baseball back, Bet365 early payout offers. You're a winner if your team goes up 5 runs with instant payouts on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. Download the app and use code CHGO365 when you sign up. New customers get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code CHGO365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bets win or lose. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. Back here on the CHGO White Sox podcast, beautiful strikeout to end the 6th inning and to end Davis Martin's day of work. And nothing really happens until the bottom of the 7th, where Zephyr John comes in for the Angels and Matt Tice laces a double. And then the rain delay comes in. And the rain delay happens for hours, folks. I am stuck here in the West Loop of Chicago, pacing around. The Cubs game laps us. The Cubs game that started at 3:10 in Arizona, 1:10 Pacific time, lapped us. The bottom of the 7th in that game ended up taking place while the game was still in a rain delay. This game ends up getting rain delayed in the bottom of the 7th with a White Sox runner on second base and 1 out. The rain delay lasts from 2:48 p.m. to 5:35 p.m. You might be wondering why. Roger Bossard told Brooke Fletcher that it was one of the most periling times he's ever dealt with, that he's never dealt with hail. I stupidly wrote down he used 4 pounds of Diamond Dry. That's not that much, moron. Roger Bossard said 4 tons, and that's a lot more than 4 pounds.
Perilous?
So,
that is way too strong of a word.
Periling.
It rained for like an hour and a half. Let's.
It rained for an hour and a half. The rain delay was from 2:48 to 5:35. Did you not hear any of the things I just said? Your baseball game that started 2 hours after me lapped us.
Yeah, so we got to spend more time together.
Kevin, I didn't want to spend any time with you, respectfully, or at least any more time.
Jeez.
I would like to go home. My wife's making burgers.
I'm just.
You know how bad I want a burger right now?
You'll get one.
Yeah, but I could have gotten it 2 hours ago.
I'm just perilous. He's never dealt with hail before. What? I don't believe it.
And this is the sod father. This is a guy that's been doing the job for 35, 40 years.
I don't buy it.
I will say, too, We do have all these bobbleheads. We do not have the Roger Bossard sod father. I do think that's one of the ones that I was looking forward. But the biggest issue was wind picked up the tarp as they were putting it over. A little bit of third base, like probably about 40, maybe even less than that, 25 feet of the third base line was uncovered. All of the first base line was uncovered. All of the first base section was uncovered. Again, they ended up using 4 tons of Diamond Dry to try to get that footing at first base covered, patched up. They ended up doing it, but it just took them 2.5 hours. What are you laughing at?
The picture's pretty hilarious. Go online and look at the picture of the mismatched tarps trying to cover half the field. It's pretty great.
Yeah, no, we should have got the.
Pretty good. Here, I'll find it. I'll find it. Go to yours.
Yeah, but it was not a good time. I felt bad for the crew, the grounds crew out there, just because they were not able to really get it going, and that's why it was 3 hours. Anyways, post delay, bottom of the 7th, runners on second. Tice ends up being the runner. I found that surprising by Venable, keeping a catcher out there, having it possibly being the go-ahead run with 1 out. If a single goes up the middle, you want that guy being sent from third base. I don't know if Tice is that runner. I'm not really that acquainted with Matt Tice's sprint speed on StatCast. And honestly, is it worth looking up? He's a damn catcher. I don't think it's anything impressive. He kept him out there. Tice's sprint speed was 5th percentile, 24.9 percentile. So I don't 24.9 feet per second. I don't know if that was the right call, but there by Tice or by Venable, leaving Tice out there. Anyways, Vargas is the batter. Ben Joyce into the game. It's a 3-2 count for Vargas. Joyce can't throw a strike, so it ends up with runners on first and second. Baldwin comes in to face Joyce. He was already in the game, but he had a 10-pitch at bat yesterday against Joyce. There's a pass ball, so both runners advance. You have runners on third and second with Baldwin, who just had this crazy at bat, and he popped out. And he popped out to a place that, Tice couldn't advance, Vargas couldn't advance. Lenine comes in for Jake Amaya. Ron Washington, which I thought was a savvy move. Ben Joyce, in a way, iced him, gave him time to recover. Ben Joyce is a guy that notably throws 102, 103 miles per hour. So in a way, Washington, with the mound visit, was giving him an extra time to breathe. If you remember Pedro Baez, the Dodger legend, who would take 3 minutes to throw the ball, think of that, just kind of recharging and regaining Joyce's stamina. Sosa pops out, so the Sox are able to do nothing with runners in scoring position after that 2.5-hour delay. Then, top of the 8th, Cam Boozer comes in, everyone's favorite Chicago Dogs. It's a 2-2 count, and it's a leadoff bomb on a down-and-in fastball to Kyron Paris, and he hits it to Paris, Illinois. This ball almost goes to Joe Borchard territory. Of course, the people that have hit the furthest home runs at Rate Field, Guaranteed Rate Field, U.S. Cellular, Comiskey Park are people that just nobody knows. I guess Reggie Jackson hit that famous one in the All-Star game, but Joe Borchard, Kyron Paris, and Yermin Mercedes, this is not like the who's who. You want to flash the rain delay picture?
Of course.
This is the nastiness that they had to deal. They had to put spot tarps out there. There's mini tarps out there. There's mound tarps.
And if you're listening on Spotify, this is like when you get half a cheese pizza and half a pepperoni pizza. That's kind of what it reminded me of the first time.
But then
half of it's covered, the other half is just a bunch of random circles all over the side of the field.
Yeah, you got delivery, and the guy had a couple boxes with him, and he had a really sharp break. So your pepperonis really just slid to the right corner of the box. Not a good day for Roger Bossard. He got the nickname Sod Father, and over the 3 years, I've never seen a catastrophe like this from his grounds crew. With it being opening day, with him saying he's never dealt with hail before, I'm not going to judge him. The last thing that I would want to do is be out there.
They'll look at the tape. They'll get better.
Yeah, maybe they'll just, if they see rain coming, because there was a little bit of a delay before Vaughn ends up stepping in the bottom of the 7th. It felt like they were going to delay it before the inning started. If you have that kind of premonition that rain's about to start, just put the damn tarp out there. Because like you said, if the tarp's out there, you probably don't have this issue where you have to put so much Diamond Dry out there and the game's able to get started and underway and we don't have to wait for this and Kyron Paris isn't hitting a ball to the moon.
In their defense, it happened really quick. I got the update on my phone, my Apple Watch buzzed, and then like 30 seconds later, here comes the rain.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was dark-ish. Like, and what Bossert said on the broadcast was there's going to be rain in 15 minutes. I guess that was more like 10 minutes. Yeah. Came 5 minutes before they were ready, and it just really knocked them around. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. How many people we got watching, Kevin?
We have 33 watching, 18
watching.
Likes. Yeah.
Make sure you hit that like button. There's, someone left.
Hey, you get
got
back
about
here.
14 people that haven't liked. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Cam Boozer, after giving off that leadoff bomb, strikes out Mike Trout and strikes out Jorge Soler, both on nice sweepers. So even though Boozer wasn't able to keep the game tied, a nice outing, getting their two best hitters to strike out. Bottom of the eighth, Slater grounded out, Taylor Cade, and then Robert with that nice little bloop single. Benny's at bat. Robert steals second to put himself in scoring position, and he stole it with ease. And then everyone's guy, Andrew Benintendi, DH God, grounds out and ends the threat. Top of the ninth, Frazier Elwood comes in. Moncada looks terrible against three fastballs. That's what I noted. Nothing versus three hittable fastballs around 94, 95 miles per hour. Very hittable fastballs, and he was behind on two of them, completely whiffing through one of them, and the one that he did foul off was a really late foul off. I don't know if Moncada is going to last long with the Angels. I don't know if Tim's going to last long with the Angels. It was nice to see them make another team, but how long will that last? I don't know. Then Rengifo grounds into a double play after Darno was hit by a pitch, so Frazier Elwood was able to get a 1-2-3 inning in a weird way. Bottom of the ninth, Kenley Jansen's in for career save 449. He's close to becoming the fourth MLB pitcher with 450 career saves, 29 saves away from Lee Smith in third, 478. Sox legend Craig Kimbrell, Cubs legend Craig Kimbrell is 10 away from 450. I think he's in the minor leagues with the Braves.
You made fun of Sarah for her Chicago accent. There was yours right there. Craig's Kimbrell.
Craig's Kimbrell.
Adding the S.
My gay. Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah,
Go
Craig's.
Sox. Vaughn's first hit of 2025 comes against Kenley Jansen. It is a double down the left field line, 94.4 miles per hour. 0 for 11. He's 1 for 12 to start the year. Vaughn was terrible in spring training. Gavin Sheets was a lot better for the Padres. Gavin Sheets already has his first home run of 2025. I don't know if it was the right decision by Chris Getz to keep the guy that was $4 million more expensive. I think it's quite iffy that they made this decision. I hope at some point in December and November when we pull the tapes, I said they should keep Gavin Sheets because he's a left-handed bat and not Vaughn because you could find right-handed bats. But oh well. Here's Andrew Vaughn. 1 for 12. Anyways, Corey Lee comes in as a pinch runner. Tice walks. Vargas then hits an infield fly. 1 out. Baldwin then grounds into a double play. Sox lose, and they lose the first series of the year. The biggest thing, it felt like they had a chance to possibly win a series, to finally get Will Venable his first series win, to maybe start 2025 on the right foot. And they stuck it right into a bunch of horse crap. Just like, you're not really noticing in the streets of Chicago, maybe on Madison Avenue. You take a step down on the sewer or whatever, on the curb there, and the police horses just recently walked by, and there's a bunch of horse crap, and I just stepped in it. You're unable to get any runs pretty much over the past 2 games. 0 runs on Saturday, 6 base runners total, and 2 runs in this game. Just a terrible effort outside of Thursday where you got those home runs. And now you're really questioning when Benintendi hits a home run and Sosa hits a home run. Someone else hits a home run. I forget who hit the other home run. Slater was the one before it. Who hit the third home run? Anyways.
On opening day?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
I know, right? Because I don't know. Because
I
Slater
was
hit
listening.
that one.
I was listening too.
Slater,
I heard the Benintendi
and then
one.
Benintendi hit the, yeah.
I don't
anyways.
remember.
Outside of that, like they hit 3 home runs off a guy that was making his major league debut and was a really iffy decision on why he was on the Angels team. Like their power has come against some pretty iffy guys. It was just Sosa and Benintendi. I don't know what I'm thinking of. So, anyways, those were the 3 homers.
Really? Okay.
But it's still Benintendi and Sosa homering off a guy that is making his major league debut on iffy circumstances. Not looking good for the Sox. But if you're looking for tanking, the White Sox might be the worst team in the league. Woohoo! Saturday's notes, again, a 1-0 loss. Cannon, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. He had a nasty sweeper, called strike to Moncada. Backdoor, got him looking. Disgusting. I was worried about his ability to get swings and misses, and I know people thought that he had an iffy, shaky, even spring, but he talked pretty openly that he was working on things, working on his sweeper, working on his changeup. He looked pretty good on Saturday. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. Burke on Thursday, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 3 Ks. Martin today, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 runs allowed, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. And again, just going over the whiffs, Martin 3, 16 called strikes for Martin, 21 called strike plus whiff percentage. Average for a MLB starter is 30%. For Cannon, 8 whiffs, 17 called strikes, 29% called strike plus whiff percentage. So he was close to major league average. Burke, 8 whiffs, 14 called strikes, 30% called strike plus whiff percentage for Burke. We're going to take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. I'll let you know a little bit more about Sean Burke, and then we'll talk about the real team of Chicago, the Charlotte Knights, here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. We want to let you know about our friends over at Hooters. Hooters has some delicious, fantastic wings. I just want to let you know that I am so deeply, deeply, deeply hungry. And the thought of biting into just one of those big metallic aluminum like bins of takeout wings where they have like 50 to 75 wings just covered in Hooters buffalo sauce. The vision I have right now of cracking that lid, smelling that chicken, and just diving into those 50 to 75 chicken wings sounds like pure, absolute bliss. If you're a drinker, hey, why not go visit their Chicagoland locations? I love the one in Oak Lawn. It's right by where my mom bought her Saturn years ago. But you can go to enjoy their delicious wings, maybe get a beer or 2 or 5. I don't know. Go visit them at originalhooters.com. You can even order online for pickup and delivery. But go get wings for me. Come on. And Luke loves their teriyaki barbecue. I think I'm a real purist when it comes to hot wings. I want ones in buffalo sauce, and I'm dreaming right now of hot wings in paradise. We need to start playing some Jimmy Buffett. Anyways, let's get to Ray Auto Chevy as well. The March Radness sales event is going on at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. That means the latest vehicles you've been looking for are now priced with game-winning savings like 0% financing for 60 months, $0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, plus 0 hidden fees on select new Chevy models. Or check out their selection of over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories, you'll be sure to find the perfect vehicle for you. And as one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, they'll be able to keep their prices competitive, so you'll know you'll get a great deal. And with Ray's Price Promise, you can shop confidently because there's a guarantee of no add-ons, no hidden fees, and no gimmicks, meaning the prices you hear now or the prices you see online will be the price you pay. Go visit them over on Route 12 in Fox Lake, and don't miss out on their March Radness sales event going on all month long for 0% financing on select new Chevy models. Shop Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive. Again, the biggest thing too this weekend that sticks out to me, White Sox-wise, Vaughn started off 0 for 8, ended up being 0 for 11 after his first 3 at-bats. He's finally able to get one to break through, but just pretty terrible stuff from Andrew Vaughn. You're really just questioning what he's going to end up doing. Sox starters this weekend, 17 innings pitched. They allowed 11 hits, 0 earned runs, 5 walks, and then 10 strikeouts. Great stuff from Burke, Cannon, and Martin. Let's get to the minor leagues. The Charlotte Knights. Your White Sox are 1-2. Your Charlotte Knights are undefeated. They have Kyle Teal, Colson Montgomery, Chase Mydroth, Edgar Caro. Need I say Tim Elko? Come on. Yeah, Tim Elko. Find a Hawk one that says hell yes. Or hell yeah. We'll figure it out. Anyways, Kyle Teal this weekend, 6 for 12, 1 double, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Caro, 5 for 9, 3 walks, 4 Ks, 5 runs. Caro caught twice, if you were wondering the split of those. So Teal was the DH twice. Caro caught twice. Teal ended up catching on Saturday. But Teal was phenomenal. Caro was phenomenal. Mydroth was phenomenal as well. He had a home run today, 3 for 11 this series, 1 home run, 4 walks, 1 strikeout, 5 runs for Chase Mydroth. And the pitcher of
Yes! Hell yeah!
That's my good friend Kevin Wills. Yes.
Tried to find the perfect time to put that in there, but then my finger slipped. But hey, I hope it sounded all right.
It's perfect. Jared Schuster, 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, no walks, 6 strikeouts for Jared Schuster. I think he's a major league arm whenever they want to go for him. The 2 sad notes, obviously, hey, you get great outings from Teal, you get great outings from Caro, you get great outings from Mydroth, Schuster. Kind of iffy notes. Varland faced 1 batter and then called to the trainers. So everyone's favorite, Gus Varland, who I thought could have made the opening day roster, he ends up dealing with an injury. We'll see what the news is for him. They had 6 Tommy Johns in spring training. Hopefully, knock on wood, Varland is not the 7th. Thank you, Hawk. Here, cue that one up again. Colson.
No!
1 home run. That's not bad. 1 for 13, 9 Ks, 0 walks. So Teal was fantastic. Caro, fantastic. Mydroth, pretty good. Colson Montgomery, stinky. And his homer, too, 91 middle. Like, I hope he's hitting those.
Right.
Like, that's a meatball.
That should go over the wall.
It should go over the wall. Kevin Wells, any other thoughts from either the chat that we need to get to? We're going to talk about Alexander Canario and the New York Yankees torpedo bats before we get out of here. If you have any thoughts, let Kevin know in the chat, and he'll be monitoring.
Yeah,
that.
please do. A lot of Cubs talk in the chat. This is the White Sox show.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the White Sox. Cubs have their own problems. They'll figure it out. I thought it was... you talked a little bit about Kevin M. had a couple things in there about initial taking pitches in certain at bats. I think you were talking about Vaughn in that case. I can't remember. That was a few minutes ago, but that's about it. Other than that, offensively challenged team. I'm glad it didn't go to extras. Ooh. Starting pitching looked good all series. Bottom of the 7th was a painful watch. So,
and
it's a team that's going to struggle offensively all year. I mean, if you're watching this team, that's what you're signing up for. There's not a lot of household names in the lineup. They're not projected to be an offensively strong team.
Can you go to Jackie's comment all the way up there? But I do also just want to give a shout out to Silly Mo Pena. Come on. That's a goated name.
That is a good name.
I mean, Willie Mo Pena.
Willie Mo Pena.
Legend. Silly Mo Pena? What a twist. Jackie says, swinging first pitch, down by 1 with runners in scoring positions in the 9th. Have you just watched the batter before you walk on 5 pitches? Bro, learned not to do stuff like that when I was 13 years old. Amen, Jackie. Great stuff there. And that's the one thing, too. I mean, Jansen just pitched yesterday. Joyce comes in a pretty weird situation. He walks Vargas right after that delay after pitching yesterday. Very odd stuff there from Robert. I don't know why. I was looking for the box score, and I was looking at the one from Thursday. That's why there's no bottom of the 9th. They won 8-1. You stupid idiot. All right. You guys are talking about in the bottom of the 9th where Vaughn singles or doubles after his second pitch, and then Vargas swings on the first pitch after Tice walks. So Vargas is the one that's being the silly moron. And Vargas really didn't have a good series as well. Vargas was the leadoff on Thursday. He was the leadoff on Saturday. He goes 0 for 2 on Saturday with 2 strikeouts and did not have a good day today. So I don't know how well he's going to be able to do against right-handed pitchers this year. Let's get to @PaulDurdash1 on Twitter. who said rain delay on ESPN 1000 with Jeff Meller. I'm assuming Jeff Meller. Rain delay radio. Jesse Rogers mentioned the Sox interest in Alexander Canario. He was DFA'd by the Cubs earlier this year and now recently DFA'd by the New York Mets. I'd be thrilled to watch Alexander Canario. Hey, maybe he sucks, but who doesn't on this team? I mean, Michael A. Taylor's over 30. Austin Slater, over 30. Mike Tauchman, hurt, over 30. Not trying to hate on the people that are over 30 out there, but when you are the 2025 White Sox looking to lose, maybe give guys that could potentially pop, a la the Carlos Quintens. Canario has crazy bat speed, can hit home runs. Will it be consistent enough? I don't know, but maybe it could be something like, Brian De La Cruz, who's now a Brave, right? But formerly a
Marlin.
A Marlin and a
I don't know where he
Pirate.
is now. I know he was Marlins last year.
I think he went Marlins, Pirates, and then this offseason.
Listen, why wouldn't you take a flyer on Canario?
Right.
Why
I
not?
said this when the Cubs DFA'd him.
Well, because let's have an eye to the future here. July, trade deadline. If Michael A. Taylor, a great defensive backup, you can flip him to another team, you're going to do that. Give another guy to hit. And also, the upside of Canario could outweigh Cubs fans. We're talking about Canario being a legitimate prospect. He was talked about a lot in the minor leagues. Can hit the ball 450 feet. He hits bombs. He also strikes out a lot. So do you have the development to hone that in? He's still a very young player, but he's got insane bat speed and insane pop. I think that's worth a risk. He's cheap, and he's club controlled. Why not?
We hope, because that's the whole point of our guy Ryan Fuller,
Strikes
is that
out.
he'd be able to narrow in on that strike zone. Let's talk about something that batters could possibly do. We saw a big change over the weekends with the New York Yankees. On Saturday, they hit 9 home runs. Maybe that's because Nestor Cortez is terrible, and they had the scouting report on Nestor Cortez after he pitched for them 4 years. But some really interesting stuff happening with the Yankees. If you haven't seen, Anthony Volpe, Jazz Chisholm, Cody Bellinger have these new models of torpedo bats, referring to the shape of the barrel. So if you could picture this being a normal baseball bat that you're used to seeing, kind of a fatter barrel near the top, what they've done, and this is via an MIT professor now turned baseball coach, they shifted the weight of the barrel to the label pretty much. So the fatter part of the bat is closer to the actual middle, or kind of the stem of the bat. I wish I knew bat diaphragms a little bit better. But the whole idea that this MIT professor was giving was you're trying to create more barrels and you're trying to create less swing and misses, less whiffs. And the biggest thing that stuck out to me was a tweet from Sunshine VVN. There's a great thread that she put together that details the physics behind the baseball bat and what shifting could do. And it's very, very, very marginal. What it still takes is a major league baseball hitter connecting with a 95 mile per hour pitch. It just rewards that hitter a little bit more. It's a similar idea of choking up. It, as Trevor Plouffe said, it's a similar idea of Jeff McNeil's no knob as well, making the actual handle fatter so his hands are higher up. You could see on the screen Chisholm's bat where the top is a little bit thinner than the actual fatter part, moving the barrel closer to the label. But the idea is to increase the reward, increase the chances of a barrel, studying where the players make contact on the actual bat and then shifting the weight of that barrel down the bat, giving it a better sweet spot. As Ryan says, basically giving it a harder sweet spot. But yeah, you got to be all for it because it's still within the rules. I know their closer threw a hissy fit over, who was that? The Brewers closer threw a hissy fit over the bats, but I mean, it is
Trevor McGill.
Yeah, Trevor McGill. It's legal. It's all for it. You still got to be good enough to hit. You give me this bat, I'm doing nothing against it. But yeah, this is again from Sunshine VVN over on X. Jazz's bat is in the red. The regular bat is in the blue. And basically, it's just shifting the sweet spot down a little bit. So it's less of changing your hand position and rather than moving it up on a normal 33-inch bat, and you're just moving the weight of the actual barrel down. I'm all for it. I mean,
it's completely legal.
Yeah, it's completely legal, and baseball, especially the hitters, need more tech. And this is something that's interesting. I mean, again, over the past 70 years, because I found some like 1920 bats that are pretty wonky. There was the bottle bat. If you want to look that up, not you right now, but there was a bottle bat used by, Heine Grow, where it was like a pretty fat bat. I think they've made the restrictions to the actual barrel size now, so Heine's would be illegal at this point. But over the past 70 years, nobody thought, hey, let's move the barrel down. I always thought, as a stupid moron who doesn't question things, I thought that the bat had to be made that way because of just wood. Like the integrity of the wood would be compromised if you have something thinner at the top, fat here, then it starts to taper out. I thought that would create, more chances of it breaking, but it doesn't break the rules. And what Sunshine VVN says, even if it leads to more broken bats that are broken bat hits that are in play are highly likely to be hits. So
what the bat change will do, though, is it does impact swing patterns, and it will impact how a batter swings bat. It's going to impact swing speed, everything. Like Cody Bellinger said in that ESPN article, the Cubs had torpedo bats available to him in the spring. He used them. He didn't like the way they felt, so he stuck with his regular bat. The Yankees one felt different to him, so he goes, hey, I'm going to use it. Hits a 450-foot home run yesterday. Yeah. That some hitters, Aaron Judge said, hey, I won MVP last year. I'm not changing my bat. Fine. Maybe it gets to a point in the season where he wants to change it. It's available to every team, and it's legal. Hitters need something to help try and even the playing field with some of these crazy pitchers like Paul Skeens. It's cool. It's a cool thing, and every team should look into it, and I bet they will now. Whoever doesn't have it should look into it.
Andrew Vaughn, get yourself a torpedo bat. CHGO White Sox show is presented by Bet365. Use code CHGO365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with our friends over at Bet365. I appreciate everyone for hanging out with us. Jackie, Ryan, Kevin, BPG, Will, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribed to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We had a Blackhawks show earlier today. We got a Cubs show. We have a White Sox show. We got Bears shows tomorrow. We got Bulls show for their wacky, wild, and crazy March now heading into April. So make sure you are subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Thank you to Kevin Wells for producing the show. Love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.